where the cold wind blows upon the stone plateau, where the cold wind blows, where the cold wind blows. The dust is falling in the air, the murderers are millionaires. I will wait to see you there, Avalon, Avalon. A young man fell below, where flowers grow, row on row. A madman raised the foe, where flowers grow and the children know. Bullets shatter naked bone, a little girl grows up alone, carves her name into the stones of Avalon, Avalon. You are my peace of mind, where the river winds, where the water shines. Orchards, hills and vines, where the water shines, where the water shines. You do not belong to anyone when the day is said and done. You'll receive your native son, Avalon, Avalon. Oh, apple tree, we will sail thee, hoping thou wilt bear. For Lord doth know where we shall be when apples come another year. For to grow well and bear well and merrily we shall be. Let every man drink up his glass and health to the apple tree. For to grow well and bear well and merrily we shall be. Let every man drink up his glass, health to the apple tree, brave boys. Here's a health to the apple tree. Oh, apple tree, we will sail thee, and hoping thou wilt bear. Hatfuls, catfuls, 3 bushel bagfuls, many more under the stairs. For to grow well and bear well and merrily we shall be. Let every man drink up his glass, health to the apple tree. For to grow well and bear well and merrily we shall be. shall be. Let every man drink of his glass, and health to the apple tree. For to grow well and better, well and merrily we shall be. Let every man drink of his glass, health to the apple tree, brave boys. Here's a health to the apple tree. May the winds blow up on high, may the lightning smash the sky, but we few cherries in the pig boats know there's thunder rolling down below, down in the torrid brine, all down in the torrid brine. You can hear them tender souls out on eternal patrol. Voices ringing out in the deep, restless carrying us to sleep. Down in the torrid brine, all down in the torrid brine. Rig for it now, look alive. Full ahead now, look alive. Bird ahead now, look alive. To the barrens we will dive, and the last hopes left for thee are the tin fish 1, 2, 3, punching holes in the deep blue sea. Down in the torrid brine, all down in the torrid brine. That's known to fame, and the bonefish is her name. Up from 1,700 feet to send old Yamamoto's fleet down to the torrid brine, all down to the torrid brine. And when you feel the coast is clear, that's when she'll be drawing near. Turn and show us that old glass jaw. We'll spit death from an open maw. Down in the torrid brine, all down in the torrid brine. Rig for it now, look alive. Full ahead now, look alive. We're ahead now, look alive. To the barrens we will dive, and the last hopes left for thee are the tin fish 1, 2, 3, punching holes in the deep blue sea. Down in the torrid brine, all down in the torrid brine.
Bless me, Father, I have sinned. Bless me if you may. By the power of Jesus Christ, you come to me this day. I am just a middle farmer's boy. Jim Wilson is my name. And I've been out hard where the devil runs, and I'll never go again. Well, yes, I know my duty, sir, and I know the God I serve. I tried to stay out on the open line. I tried to keep my nerve. But all I could see were lily white arms and a golden silken dress. And all I could hear was a good old song flowing from the west. Well, I wish I were back home in Bristol again, raising a cider with West Country men, rolling in the arms of the fair a little song and a final taste of rum until the buggers who shoot me down just wear old Jimmy's from. Well, I wish I were back home in Bristol again, a raising a cider with West Country men, rolling in the arms of the fair King Red. Back home in Bristol again, back home in Bristol again. Oh.
Flash packet of fame. She hails from New York and the dreadnought's her name. She's bound to the west where the stormy winds blow. All the way to the westward and the dreadnought will go. Derry down, 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 Derry down. With a gale on her back, what a sight does she make. A skipping some Mary with a west in her wake. Her sailors like lions on the decks to and fro. She's a Liverpool packet, oh Lord, let her go. Derry down, 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 Derry down. So wide, where the high roaring seas rove along her backside, where the sails taut as wires, and the black flag to show. All the way, the dreadnought to the west wind will go. Derry down, 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 Derry down. Here's a health to the dreadnought and all her brave crew, to bold Captain Willie, his officers too. Talk about your flash packets, swallowtail, black ball. The dreadnought's the flyer that outsails them all. Derry down, 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 Derry down.
just 18 when he saw her smiling face as she danced along the streets of Montreal. And in 1916, she gave her hand for him to hold in the church beneath the ancient city walls. But now he lies awake, staring up into the dark at the eyes of a million tiny gods. And when the sun comes up, they'll go over the top for good. So he writes her black letters. By the time you read these words, there will be no more war for me. There will be only peace. He was her only son, and she rocked him back and forth in the cradle of a tall Alberta grain. And he was scarce a man when he answered the call, left her crying as he stepped onto the train. And she was all alone, staring at the moon as his body hit the sand beneath Calais. And when the sun came up, his words were on the steps for her. She read his black letter. By the time you read these words, there will be no more war for me. There will be only peace. Black letters. Into the eyes of a fate that is much greater than us all. And by the setting sun, we'll write the words we wish to echo in the hearts of our loved ones should we fall. Those thin, dark lines, so delicate and fine, like a road that could show the way back home. But at the ending of the day, our memories will fade for good. For our black letters. By the time you read these words, there will be no more war for me. There will be only peace. Black letters.
When I was just a little lad or so, me mammy told me,
Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
that if I didn't kiss the girls, my lips would grow all moldy.
Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Away,
Ho! Haul away, we'll haul away together. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
away,
Ho! Haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
I used to have an Irish girl, but she got fat and lazy.
Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
But now I've got a Bristol girl, and she just drives me crazy.
Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Away!
Ho! Haul away, we'll haul away together. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Away!
Ho! Haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Old Louis was the King of France before the Revolution.
Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
But then he got his head chopped off and it spoiled his constitution.
Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Away,
Ho! Haul away, we'll haul away together. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
away,
Ho! Haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
You call yourself a second mate, you can't tie a bowling.
Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
You can't even stand up straight when the packages are rolling.
Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Away!
Ho! Haul away, we'll haul away together. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Away!
Ho! Haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Well, now can't you see the black clouds are gathering? Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Well, now can't you see the storm clouds are rising? Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Away, ho! Haul away, we'll haul away together. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Away, ho! Haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
We've been gone for so long. Our rations are low, sleepless nights under grey skies are glowing. So when we left from our homes, our confidence high, would we know just how to get by? What are we marching for? Is this trial with our lives? How will we win this war? Who among will survive? With my comrades beside me, in glory and sight, I forgot it for country remain in the fight while our sweethearts at home wait for the news. Will they be kind or they be cruel? I hope to see the morning. I hope to die in my sleep. Will death come without warning? Pray my soul got to keep the cold rain and snow. Oh, to see my dear wife and my children free, just once more, one more glance, and my soul will be free. Oh, dear God, won't you keep them from sorrow and care? One humble wish in my despair. Will my love have meant something? Will my death be in vain? Will I sit triumphant and stare into this pain? The cold rain and well, how'd you do and what's your name? And where you from, sir? Welcome to Alaska, Maine. Welcome to the Sum, sir. 59s for 7 days. First upon the 10th night, Jesus helped the man who strayed into the black and white. Worms are in the carrion bread, rats are in the water. Soapy Mary, a soapy dead, back into the slaughter. She don't care the color of your blood, read between the lines, so follow me into the mud. house of his daddy's Linden. Now he's face down in the ground, turning into dust, sir. Who gave him this final round? Who did he trust, sir? Now, walking to the black and white. Come on the ground, death is on the prowl tonight. Come on, walking to the black and white. Come on the ground, death is on the prowl tonight. The black and white. Faces down, eyes too front.
'Tis a damn tough life, full of toil and strife, we whalermen undergo. And we don't give a damn when the day is done, how hard the winds did blow. 'Cause we're homeward bound from the Arctic around, with a good ship taut and free. And we don't give a damn when we drink our rum with the girls of old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale towards our island home. Our mainmast sprung, our whaling done, and we ain't got far to roam. 6 hellish months we passed away on the cold Kamchatka Sea. But now we're bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale to the ice and wind and rain. Them coconut fronts, them tropical lands we soon shall see again. Our stunsail's bones is carried away, what care we for that sound? A living gale is after us, thank God we're homeward bound. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. How soft the breeze through the island trees, now the ice is far astern. Them native maids, them tropical glades is awaiting our return. Even now their big brown eyes look out, hoping some fine day to see our baggy sails running for the gales, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui.
Oh, come on, all you workers who toil night and day, by hand and by brain, to earn your pay, who for centuries all past, for no more than your bread, have bled for your countries and counted your dead. We're the first ones to starve, we're the first ones to die, the first ones in line for that pie in the sky, and we're always the last when the cream is shed out, for the worker is working when the fat cat's about.
In the factories and mills, shipyards and mines, we've often been told to keep up with the times, for our skills are not needed. They've streamlined the job with slide rule and stopwatch. Our pride they have robbed.
We're the first ones to starve, we're the first ones to die, the first ones in line for that pie in the sky, and we're always the last when the cream is shed out, for the worker is working when the fat cat's about. And when the sky darkens and the prospect is war, who's given a gun and then pushed to the fore and expected to die for the land of our birth, though we've never owned one lousy handful of earth. We're the first ones to starve, we're the first ones to die, the first ones in line for that pie in the sky, and we're always the last when the cream is shed out, for the worker is working when the fat cat's about.
And all of these things the worker has done, from tilling the fields to carrying the gun. We've been yoked to the plough since time first began, and always expected to carry the can.
We're the first ones to starve, we're the first ones to die, the first ones in line for that pie in the sky, and we're always the last when the cream is shed out, for the worker is working when the fat cat's about. We're the first ones to starve, we're the first ones to die, the first ones in line for that pie in the sky, and we're always the last when the cream is shed out, for the worker is working when the fat cat's about. I thought to make a horseshoe and asked my hammer thus. He said, I'll ask the anvil what you require of us. The hammer asked the anvil, and she at once agreed that they should meet together in the way that I decreed. And it's sparks are flying, passion strong. I am the blacksmith singing the hammer and the anvil song.
I thought to make an anchor for taking on the main. The hammer and the anvil relented once again. So they sat there together as I prepared the cast. They braced themselves for impact like a sailor on the mast. And it's
sparks are flying, passion strong. I am the blacksmith singing the hammer and the anvil song. I thought to make a broadsword for fighting on the field, much as I know the hammer is a nobler thing to wield. For though us humble tradesfolk choose a quiet life, the gods of war come to the door of the hammer and his wife. And it's sparks are flying, passion strong. I am the blacksmith singing the hammer and the anvil song. They asked me for a statue of the general who died, a sword raised in his iron fist and a war horse sat astride. And though I knew they'd try me for what I did decide, I stuck a hammer in his fist and an anvil by his side. And it's sparks are flying, passion strong. I am the blacksmith singing the hammer and the anvil song. Now all you merry blacksmiths, a warning take by me. Stick to your country horseshoes and your anchors for the sea. When the gods of war come calling, promising you gold, they'll take your hammer, take your anvil, take your very soul. And it's sparks are flying, passion strong. I am the blacksmith singing the hammer and the anvil song. And it's sparks are flying, passion strong. I am the blacksmith singing the hammer and the anvil song.
When I came back from Luang Prabang, I didn't have a thing where my balls used to hang, but I got a wooden medal and a fine orang. Now I'm a fucking hero. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me. And now the boys all envy me. I fought for Christian democracy, with nothing down there where my balls used to be, and now I'm a fucking hero. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me. 4 and 20 cannon thunder into the bloody wild blue yonder, for a patriotic, gutless wonder. He's a fucking hero. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me. In Luang Prabang there is a spot where the corpses of your brothers rot. Every corpse is a patriot. Every corpse is a hero. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me. Mourn your dead, land of the free. If you wanna be a hero, follow me.
A recruiting sergeant came away from an inn near town at the close of day. He said, "My Johnny, you're a fine young man. Would you like to march along behind a military band with a scarlet coat and a fine cocked hat and a musket at your shoulder?" The shilling he took and he kissed the book. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? The recruiting sergeant marched away from the inn near town at the break of day. Johnny came to with half a ring. He was off to be a soldier to go fighting for the king, in a far-off war, in a far-off land, to face the foreign soldier. But how will you fare when there's lead in the air? Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? Well, the sun rose high on a barren land where the thin red line made a military stand. There was slingshot, chain shot, grape shot too, swords and bayonets thrusting through. Poor Johnny fell, but the day was won, and the king is grateful to ya. But your soldier is done and they're sending you home. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? They said he was a hero.